And welcome back to episode 85 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I am your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm Bye-Week King. And I ain't talking about the Eagles' NFL schedule.
Oh, whoa, Carl Nassib. Whoa, Mr. Nassib. Whoa.
How you feeling, cuz?
Well, I'm good. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling tonight?
Cooling. We got the beautiful Britt Dawson back in the building. What's popping with you?
What's up, y'all? It's been a long time coming.
She's been playing hide and go seek.
All that. It's all right. You came back on a decent time. You came back on a decent time when the Browns.
I'm back.
Vic back.
I had to wait till the. That's right. I had to wait till the Browns got a win.
Right.
Right.
Listen.
Show my face again.
Listen, you've been gone. Let's pick on you first. Let's pick on that Browns-Ravens game. And I didn't even write the score down. It was 22-24, wasn't it?
I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah,
but I know we won.
I know we won.
That's all that matters.
It was 22-24. It was looking rough for y'all at a point in that game. Huntley, first and foremost, I would like to shout out Tyler Huntley because he threw for 270 yards, one touchdown. He did have that one interception, but it didn't count on his record because it was on a 2-point conversion. But he had a 99.7 QBR. He even beat out your boy Baker coming in.
That don't take much.
Right, but still, man, I mean, if that's your guy, which we'll get into later, he's going to have to step it up.
That's a whole nother conversation right there. Is that the guy? Like you said, we'll get into that later. But no, at the end of the day, I'm happy we got the win. And I wish I was on the show the prior week because I felt like we would get the win because I just felt like too much was on the line for us to just not get the win last week. So yeah, I felt like we had a good chance of pulling it together and making some things happen. So yep, I'm happy that worked out. This is a big week though, as you know.
Yeah,
who we play this week.
Yeah.
So
yeah, y'all got
let me know.
The Raiders this week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big week.
Of course, we'll get into that when we get to pick'ems. But I guess speaking of pick'ems, I gotta shout out OG Mike Brown. He won last week.
Oh, he a buster.
He won last week. He had 6 out of the 8. Right. He was only off on the Ravens game and the Bengals game.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the Bengals lost last week, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. They sure enough did. Everybody picked the Bengals too. So yeah, he won. You came in second, and then me and Les tied. You had 5 of 8. Me and Les had 4 of 8. I did get that spread right on that Cowboys-Washington game though. Cowboys 7.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. I've been getting at least one spread a week, but I'm telling you, once we get our chops all the way up, I'm telling y'all, you may not always want to take my bet, but it'll be right when it is. It'll get you the spread. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. Fair enough.
But speaking on that Browns game for real, I would like to know. Because I know you watch a little bit more in depth than I do, so you know how the different players play from week to week. But I would like to know, like, what exactly was it that you feel like prompted the Ravens to be able to come back like that with the second string quarterback? Like, do you think that was a lack of defense? Was there a specific point in, like a piece of the defense you saw that was lacking? Like, because there were some plays that took place that you can't really account for. Like, Huntley had a couple scrambles that were just like, yeah, that was kind of not to say lucky, because I know he has the ability to do it, but it was like the defense doesn't play to expect something like that. So I get a few of those taking place here and there, but to come back from 24-3 with a second string quarterback, it had to be something involved with that defense that was off. Or maybe they just playing for the wrong guy. Well, no, because Huntley is a B version Lamar Jackson.
Well, I'd say C version, but yes.
Well, that depends on what you want to look at. If you're talking about from the running, then yes, I'd say C. If we're talking about from the passing, I'd say it's a lot closer than you think.
I think I
even might edge it to Huntley, to be honest. But I'm sorry, what was you saying?
No, just to kind of answer your question, I think it's just kind of like how the Browns play. If you notice on the games where they come out hot, so to speak, if you want to call that hot, they typically die down after the first quarter or two. Right. So they don't have a strong second half. So I don't know. It might be something in the coaching to where it's like, all right, they don't make adjustments.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, they caught on to what we're doing. So now let's take it up a level, or let's try this, or let's do that. I think that they're just not adjusting. So, they're just kind of getting lucky in the sense like it's working in the beginning to the point where they get a big enough lead to where, the defense can hold them off for the rest of the game without getting the win. Because if you think about it, they did the same thing against Denver. When they played the Broncos, they came out hot. I mean, they came out hot.
Yeah, I remember.
And they went up. I think they went up like 2 scores to zip. But by the end of the game, I think that they only won by maybe a touchdown or something close in range to where it wasn't reflective of how the first half looked. And I don't think they even scored. I could be wrong, but I don't even think they scored the second half of that particular game.
I was just going to bring that up. So that you are right when it comes to adjustments, because they scored all their points by midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, so it's like the other team is going to adjust, like, all right, this is what they're doing to us, so what can we do? But they don't have the counter for that. So I think that's the biggest thing is like, all right, they don't know what to do when they come in hot. They really just kind of got to get lucky in the sense of the team just doesn't catch up. But again, I think that it's some coaching change, some coaching issues as well as personnel.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Now, I do have one more question for you, right? Because then I start to think, is it one of two different things or a combination of both? Being, do they gas out? Like, is it that the team gasses out? And I don't mean that like from a specific cardio standpoint, but like we've given you all we have offensively in the first 2 halves. We're gassed out. We have nothing left in the playbook to give you to make something different happen.
I think that comes with, and not to put, I know it's a team sport, not to put all the weight on his shoulders, but I think when you have to have dynamic players, right? And the Browns don't have a lot of dynamic players. Myles Garrett is a dynamic player, and we've seen that in the game. He made dynamic plays, but you got to have dynamic. Yeah, you got to have dynamic players to keep pushing like that, if that makes sense. Right. So if it's not a well-run machine like the Patriots, you got to have the dynamic player step in, and I just don't think that we have any. So to be honest with you, if Baker was more dynamic, that's where he would shine. Like, all right, I'm going to make something happen in these 2 quarters. You know what I'm saying? Like just another touchdown or 2 would make him dynamic if he could pull that off. Right. You know what I'm saying? In those last 2 quarters, but he's not doing that. No offense to our wide receivers, but they're not dynamic wide receivers. We don't have a Chase. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have anybody that's like what's McLaurin. We don't have that. We got Landry.
Cliff, let me interject for a moment. So, Brittany, before the season started, we can go back and review the tape. The Browns were the highlight. The Browns were the highlight. They were the team to watch. They were going to be in the Super Bowl. I believe you quoted them to be, for predictions, 17-0 this season.
No, I don't remember that.
You said that Philly could never touch a team like the Browns. The Browns,
I never
Baker
would
Mayfield.
say the Browns were 17. I never would say Browns would go 17.
Nah,
I could have sworn in the predictions. You said how many games in the season? I thought you said undefeated. We could roll out the tape, but I could have sworn you said undefeated.
I would never call that. We got too much bad luck to go undefeated. I would never call that.
And if she did, we both know she was joking.
Right.
I would never call undefeated for the Browns.
All I'm saying, Britt, is your tune has changed about your team. I mean, you used to sound so confident, high praises.
Listen,
a lot of good.
I'm still a Browns fan, but let me say this to this.
I can't let her take that alone, though. Go ahead.
To these John turkeys over here. The way Baker played last year in comparison to this year is he's two different players. I know he's hurt, whatever, but I have not seen any great games out of Baker all season. So I was not expecting that at all. Like, I know that it's an up and down type of situation. You got some good games, you got some bad games, but I was not expecting him to come out and play the way that he's played. I mean, he hasn't threw for more than, I have to check the stats from last game, but he hasn't threw for more than 2 touchdowns.
I thought.
How many touchdowns?
Two touchdowns, 1 interception.
He hasn't thrown more than 2 touchdowns in a game. That's a problem.
190, 68.8% completion, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 91.9 QBR.
Yeah, like he hasn't thrown more than 2 touchdowns in a game, and that's a problem. And a lot of those games, like probably around 50% of those games, he's only thrown 1 touchdown. So again, I was not expecting to see that out of him all season. I expect that a game or two, but I have not seen any glimpses of what he showed us last year. Like, one of my favorite games and one of the best games last year, I say it all the time, was when we played the Ravens.
Shootout.
Right.
Huh? Yeah, it was a shootout. It was a great game. It was a great game. He can he has we seen it then, but this year he has not played like that at all. He had a great game when he played the Colts last year too, something similar to that to that effect. Have not seen that side of Baker all season. So I'm thinking with that whole, with the past season under his belt, he goes to the playoffs. I'm thinking he's going to come back ready to go, ready to roll, improved, more consistent in being able to play at that high level. Whereas it's been the complete opposite.
Would y'all put Baker, because it sounds similar, would y'all put Baker Mayfield and Derek Carr in the same boat?
Yeah, I would. And that's what I was about to say. I can't let Britt take
right
that.
Now, yeah.
I can't let her take that alone until she called me a jive turkey with you. You maybe, me not so much. So I gotta recant. I was just about to say I wasn't gonna let her take it alone because I was one of the people in the beginning that said I would take Baker over Carr. And I still kind of believe that. I do still kind of believe that because Baker will at least get you a touchdown. Carr will put up a 0-0 game. Carr will throw for 300 yards, put up 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Exactly. That's unacceptable.
Unacceptable. It's not going to get the job done.
Especially from someone that the league praises so much. You know what I mean?
Look at the weapons.
Try to throw him in an MVP talk every year, and the nigga hadn't made the playoffs in his career yet.
Well, all I'm saying is that Baker gets a pass because Brittany had just said that Baker doesn't have the McLarens, the big name wide receiver weapons. Well, neither does Carr.
Right now. Hold on. Right now he does. Right. He had Odell Beckham Jr., who was a big name, and he can or he could make plays. And that's another thing that I want to point out after this, but really quickly, we were talking about Carr. Carr had his weapons too. Didn't he have Cooper at one point?
Cooper? Hell no, Cooper Cup was never on the right. Cooper Cup
was
never.
Not Cooper Cup.
Amari. Oh, Amari.
Yeah. Didn't he have Amari?
Carr had Amari.
Yeah,
Cooper.
he did.
Didn't he have Shit, I'm forgetting somebody.
I'm forgetting. Hold up. He had we just talked about it last week.
He had somebody else.
God damn it, that's gonna bother me.
Antonio Brown.
He ain't never had no
that
fucking
didn't count,
Antonio
though.
Brown.
That
He had
didn't
him for a
count.
practice.
Right. That's all that was. But damn, I can't think of who was they second up.
He got he got the tight end with Waller.
And Brittany, y'all got Jarvis
Waller.
Landry.
Not listen, Jarvis Landry is not an Amari Cooper. Or is he an Odell Beckham Jr.? He's not.
But Jarvis
take,
Landry, you put him on
I'll take Jarvis
on the Raiders
over Amari.
right now. Thank you. Right.
I'll take Jarvis
Facts.
over Amari just because Amari Cooper's wishy-washy. Jarvis doesn't drop balls like that.
He don't.
Amari Cooper was the leading wide receiver in drops one year for the Raiders.
Right.
Yeah, look who's throwing on the ball. Listen, but my thing is this. My thing is this with Jarvis. I think Jarvis is a great wide receiver, and he's a great complementary wide receiver. Like if you got somebody great on the other side of him, I would love to have Jarvis Landry. So agree. Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry, great combo. You bring in another big name, Amari Cooper with Jarvis Landry, that can be a good combo as well, as long as they're healthy. But my thing is, again, I don't feel like he is as dynamic of a wide receiver as them. We've seen that when he was in Miami. He he doesn't get a lot of touchdowns. He catches a lot of passes, doesn't get a lot lot of touchdowns.
His hands are sure. I guess that I agree with you though. If your hands are sure, then what is it exactly? Is it that you don't quite have enough speed to burn somebody and you're not quite the best route?
Yeah, he's not gonna burn you.
He's a possession. He's a possession wide receiver.
Right. He's flashing through the middle. You know what I'm saying? He's hitting those cuts and you're hitting him on that slant and he's going to catch it. But he's not going to outrun you. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember. I'm sure he's had a play, but it's very rare that you see him outrun someone or, you know what I'm saying, just lose them on a route like that. Like it just doesn't happen. Really quickly though, because you guys brought up a point and it sparked something in my brain. Just to say, we were talking about Amari Cooper having the most drops one particular season. Mm-hmm. But my thing is, like, if anything, don't we see how a bad quarterback can make a wide receiver look like trash?
You are correct.
Listen, I was ready to write Odell Beckham Jr. off. I did write him off. I'm sorry, Odell. And I was an Odell Beckham Jr. fan before he came to the Browns. I was a fan. So when he came to the Browns, I was even more excited. I'm sorry. Baker Mayfield owes him an apology because he almost single-handedly shut his career down.
Right.
He owes him an apology.
Right.
Because if he would have stayed with the Browns, we would be looking at him washed up. They probably would have released him or dumped him. You know what I'm saying?
Motherfuckers was already saying he was washed up.
Yeah, because I felt like he was washed up.
I was saying it.
And I'm like, look at he looked like he's scared to catch the ball, but it could have been where he was placing the ball. Like, again, Baker had us looking at Odell Beckham Jr. like, put a fork in him. I think that was one of my Facebook statuses.
Not me.
I felt like, man, put a fork in him, man. Because he was turning it when you start to, he was turning into a player that he wasn't. And if you play like that long enough, eventually you will become that, if that makes sense. You know how they say you practice how you play? Right. He was not able to express himself and achieve anything playing with the Browns. So I think he was turning into that. And now that we see, he's literally played, 4 games and has 3 or 4 touchdowns? Right. With the Rams.
I mean, I said it. I think. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I was just reiterating. So go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I was just saying. I think I said it before, and I don't know if I said it on this podcast. I'm sure I have, but I know I definitely said it to Malk. Out of all the quarterbacks that he's had, Matt Stafford's the best. Yeah, I'm putting Matt Stafford above Eli. Right. Matt Stafford hadn't been in an Eli type situation, and this is his current opportunity to show he's on that level. But I'd take a Matt Stafford over a Eli Manning any day. The same reason why I would take a Jarvis Landry over an Amari Cooper, because who's wishy-washy? Eli
Consistency,
Manning.
right.
Eli fucking Manning. He's a wishy-washy quarterback. That's why they said he never lived up to his brother. Matt Stafford ain't wishy-washy. And if we talking about a quarterback who didn't have a lot of weapons, you got to throw his name in a race.
Right. All he had was Calvin Johnson. I mean, Calvin Johnson was a beast. Don't get me wrong, but it was the Lions. It was the Lions. Right. It was the motherfucking Lions.
Right. So if I'm being honest, I think that, like I said before, I don't think you were on when I said it. I think that we see more out of Odell now than we did his first 2 seasons in New York. Now I don't see him making dynamic plays like the one-handed on his back in the end zone like that. But as far as efficiency, it's going to be better here than ever in his career. And you said it. He played how many games? Already got 4 touchdowns.
I think he's played 4 games with 3 touchdowns, or he might be 4 for 4.
Oh, you might be right. Yeah, because I don't think he didn't get one in
that first game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't get.
They lost that first game.
Right. So I think you are absolutely correct. But even still, that's efficiency. If I got a wide receiver on my team that can get me a guaranteed touchdown a game, that's a superstar. That's a superstar wide receiver. If he's guaranteeing me a touchdown a game, that's now an NFL superstar.
Right.
So I mean, that's the thing that Baker just is not able to do, he wasn't able to do. He couldn't just throw that ball up there and put it in his vicinity and let him go up and get it. He was gonna go get it.
Right. Ooh, Odell, I'm glad you ain't come to Las Vegas.
Oh, I don't even think he was even thinking about Vegas.
He was on the list. They was on the list.
He wasn't going no damn Vegas.
Listen.
Yeah, I don't think he was.
I'm glad
either.
he ain't come. As much as I'd have loved to have Odell, I'm glad he did not come to Vegas.
Why would you love to have him? Y'all had Randy Moss and didn't do shit with Randy Moss.
That was well, so did Brady. So what are you saying?
Y'all got a whole line
Brady
right now.
Brady didn't win a ring with Moss, but he made history with Moss.
Well, so Gannon, he was there with Gannon, and they made the playoffs after how many years without it? So but that's what I'm saying though. If you're looking at a Raiders team who consistently does not make the playoffs, but then you get a Randy Moss and a guy like Rich Gannon makes it to the playoffs, and then you go to a Tom Brady and you go to the playoffs, but you don't get the chip, then you've essentially just done the same thing. Now you got to put Rich Gannon in the same book as Tom Brady, which shouldn't be.
Hell no.
Right, it shouldn't be, but it is because Brady couldn't get it done with Randy Moss.
Rich Gannon will never be the number 12 that Tom Brady is.
Never. But he was the original.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
But he was the original, motherfucker.
You know what? No hate though. I did like kind of a side thing, but I did like Rich Gannon back in the Madden like 02, you know what I'm saying, 03 days. He was cool. He was all right.
In my lifetime, he's my favorite Raiders quarterback.
Right. Yeah, I liked him a lot. He was. I could agree on that as far as what I've seen.
I mean, he got us the closest. You got us to the bowl with Tampa Bay. You did all that, but it's like you just weren't that guy. It's kind of like Carr.
He wasn't.
It's kind of like Carr, but at least Gannon could get you there. Gannon was more dynamic than Carr was.
Oh yeah,
and that's why I would like to revisit your comment from last episode when you said we'll give you Gardner Minshew. Oh, you're gonna be giving him up this year.
You think so?
Oh, for sure. They just announced that Jalen Hurts will be starting against who is it y'all play next week?
Let me see. I think it's Washington. Let me see. I thought it was like Washington. But here's the thing, Cuddy. You're hype off of one game. You're hype off
it's not
of one game.
It's not one game. It's just like we talked about last episode. If he had a good season with the Jaguars, a good season, not a mediocre one, a good season, then he gets drafted as a backup and doesn't get to play, but then when he does, comes out and does that, he's letting you know, I'm not a backup. I deserve to start. And then here's where the Eagles are fucking up, like the Eagles always do. We'll rush Jalen Hurts back. You know, we'll rush him back even after what Minshew did. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's a Philly decision. That's a very Philadelphia decision because Jalen Hurts is not Minshew. Jalen Hurts cannot stand back there in the pocket and get it done effectively. Jalen Hurts essentially is ineffective if he can't run the ball. Now you're forcing him to be mobile and as mobile as he needs to be on a recovering ankle injury when you have a quarterback who performed better than him over the season. That makes no sense. That's a Philadelphia decision. And that's where it's going to bite you in the ass. Because if I was Minshew right there, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm out. This is my last. Yeah, I'm out. I'm not staying here. Why would I stay here if I just put up those numbers and they're rushing him back from an injury? Now, I understand why Philly would want to start Jalen because Jalen is their quarterback of the future. So you need to get him as many reps as possible to get him comfortable so he can be the quarterback we see he has the potential of being sooner than later. But at the same time, if you have a gem like Minshew on the bench, sit that man until he's fully recovered. I don't care if the doc said he's cleared. Sit him till he's fully recovered. We're good right now. Not giving your spot away, but you need to sit down for a while. I just don't get it.
Sit down.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh.
Just till you get back right. Just till you get back right. I feel like Minshew came out and he showed you that he still is on that same run he was on in Jacksonville, and you choose to sit him again as opposed to play him and let Hurts heal. I don't get it. That's a Philadelphia decision. That's a very Philly decision, in my opinion. Philly always finds a way to fuck something up.
That's what they doing with Baker. Baker claimed he been hurt all season.
Listen.
Well, why are you still playing?
Listen, last week, Gardner Minshew threw 80% completion, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 133.7 QBR. Jalen Hurts has never done that. Not that QBR.
If I'm Jalen Hurts, though, I would want to get back out there because I don't want him. I don't even want people thinking he can take my spot. So I understand that aspect.
Right.
But why rush him? Like as Philly, knowing that Jalen Hurts is your quarterback of the future, why rush him back?
Because we're trying to make the playoffs.
Because if people see too much of that, if he comes out too many games and he plays like that, they're not going to want to see Jalen Hurts play.
You are right.
So it's like, if that's our future, we got to put all our eggs in this basket, as opposed to having our fans question us when Jalen Hurts has a bad game.
You are right there.
Yeah, that's what Philly's loyal. I mean, to a fault. Just like we said, the Steelers.
Well, like the Steelers are making a lot better of a decision than Philly is in this situation.
Well, I mean, of course, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even we went back to the Nick Foles thing. That was our hot hand. Why we get rid of Nick Foles? Why we bring Carson Wentz back if he just...
Well, that's because Nick Foles, unlike Gardner Minshew, has proven himself not to be that guy time and time again.
Well, they didn't know that. They didn't know that when they got that Super Bowl, though.
That's what I'm saying. That was their hot hand.
They had no choice, Malk. You understand that? It's not like they put him in because they were like, well, let's see how Nick does. They had no choice but to put him in. I guarantee you, if y'all had another quarterback on y'all's roster that was semi-decent, he'd have been in before Nick Foles. That's the difference. That's the difference there. Gardner is a young man. That's not an old guy. That's a young dude.
He's young.
And what I'm saying is that season in Jacksonville, while most question and say he's still a come off the bench quarterback, I look at that from a young man and I say, nah, man, you can develop this dude into something serious. He can run the ball. He's not afraid to really let the ball go, and he doesn't make bad decisions.
See, your problem, Cliff,
he's inconsistent. He has great games like that, and then he'll turn around and tank. He's like the one dude. What's the one dude?
But every quarterback, look at Patrick Mahomes. Every quarterback does that.
You can't compare him to Mahomes.
Yeah, don't do that.
But what I'm
don't
saying is this not Patrick Mahomes' worst season since he started with the Chiefs? Yes, it is.
He looked like he looked like Patrick.
He's coming back now, though. He's coming back. He's just getting back.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You got the leeway to do that when you got a Super Bowl.
Right.
You don't have that leeway when you don't have anything. You don't have any playoff wins. You don't have anything. So Minshew doesn't have any of that. So he really doesn't
But that
he doesn't have that leeway.
I get it.
Neither does Hurts.
I get it, right? But that doesn't mean that I don't want you to take those chances. We don't win if you don't take chances.
Okay, stop right there.
Jags,
stop right
we
there.
We don't win. Even put the Jets in that situation. Why do you think Zach throws so many interceptions? Because if they don't take chances, they aren't even competing with the other teams.
So you want them to take chances, or you're saying you don't want them?
Who?
But you want?
No, I'm saying you can't wait until you win a Super Bowl to decide to start slinging the ball. No, you sling it from the beginning and hope you make it to the Super Bowl. But it's not vice versa. So you can't be in a situation and be like, well, damn, I ain't made a Super Bowl, so I guess I should just throw this screen instead of this long streak to that receiver I see down. No, throw the streak. If you get the interception, learn from it. You're a young guy. You're not an old head. An old head doesn't have that courtesy because you've been in the league too long and we haven't seen enough from you. So when you take those chances with the experience that you have and you don't make something happen, yeah, hit the bench. But you can't treat a Gardner Minshew like that because he's still learning the game. The game changes completely from the college level to the NFL. It's almost two different games. And we know that because you said last week or on last episode, the college pro style offense is not a comparison to the NFL. So if that's the case, then you're playing a completely different game once you arrive.
So my thing is this: I feel like Minshew is cool. What is he in his third year? Mm-hmm. To me, he's like he has these games. He looks great, and then he really falls off. That's his issue. So he needs some consistency. Who's the
But he can't get it if he don't play, right?
Hold on, but he got to play now. He got to play.
He did get to play. He had his chance, Cliff.
But so in Jacksonville, in Jacksonville,
it don't matter. Wherever you go, you got to make it happen somewhere.
Wait. Let me ask you a question. Who looked better in their Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence or Gardner Minshew?
Gardner Minshew had better games.
Who looked right? So who looked better? Who did that? Who was the better quarterback out of the two in Jack? What I'm getting at is it's Jacksonville. That's
who had the better.
That's the moral of the story. It's not Kansas City.
Yeah,
it's not even New York Giants, right? It's Jacksonville. It's a team that's known for losing.
It's the little sister to the Buccaneers.
And listen, the Bucs haven't been shit since Brady came back.
Right.
So what I'm saying is when you're on a team like that, it doesn't matter how great you are, it won't show. It's not going to show with Trevor. It's not going to show until he gets into a better situation. Now that better situation can still be Jacksonville, but you have to get rid of Urban. You have to get rid of that front office because they haven't been making good decisions from the beginning. And you got to put pieces around him so he can succeed. But you can't expect a young buck in that situation to just come out and be like, well, he looked great. No, a good season in Jacksonville is a great season anywhere else.
I'm like this, though. I'm like 50-50 on that. I do feel like, one, they do need to let some of these quarterbacks develop, which I don't think that they do in this day and age.
I agree.
They don't let them develop. So, I mean, there's definitely potential there. Because, I mean, I feel like if you go back, I don't know the stats on this, but let's say you look at like Troy Aikman's numbers from his freshman and sophomore season. It probably didn't look great. He probably wasn't doing anything special, but he got to develop into who he was.
Right.
Same thing with like
Peyton
Aaron
Manning.
Rodgers sitting behind
Peyton
Brett
Manning
Favre. Peyton Manning
still leads the league in interceptions thrown in a season. Still to this day, rookie year threw the most interceptions ever seen in the NFL. And that's a Hall of Famer. So
right, he was given the chance to develop, which, like I said, they don't give people the chance to develop. And right. I like Minshew. I would love to see him be able to develop somewhere, maybe come behind somebody and then eventually get the starting spot like how they used to do. They may need to go back to that. But however, I'm kind of like torn. Like I said, I'm like 50-50. I would love to see him develop, but then at the same time, I'm kind of like cut the deck, because I do not want them to let Baker sit with us for another 3 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's just me though. So, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason behind it. I just don't want I don't want the Browns to try to stick it out with him for another 3 years.
And you know what? With that being said, you actually made me think about something. Let me apologize to everybody in Philly. Because a Philadelphia decision is also an Oakland and a Las Vegas decision, right? Like, they make awful decisions, both together. So I can't just single them out without first turning that finger back on myself as well. Because they make the exact same decisions, and I was biased because I can't stand seeing this fuck nigga with that hat on.
We make better decisions to y'all because, again, y'all haven't won a ring since the 80s.
Oh, no, you don't.
We won one within the past 10
no, you
years.
don't. If Philly would have had it their way, they would have had Carson Wentz still in there if he didn't get hurt, and it'd have been a choke artist in the Super Bowl.
Hey, Britt, let's do the recent Raiders news. Henry Ruggs. What's the other one on defense?
You can't put that decision on anybody.
These are Raiders. These are Raiders
But you
players.
can't
These
put that decision on anybody because nobody knows before you choose your draft selection that the person you chose in their second year is going to get into a car accident. That's
it's
just
a coincidence.
Of course, that's coincidence. The
Raiders are always
no. The only thing that adds
not the good headline.
Listen,
thank you, Brittany. Am I lying?
To the coincidence is the fact that you are now in Vegas. He could have got away with that shit in Oakland.
Cliff, let me say this. I actually give Philly a heads up on decision making because I actually think that they make decisions to win. I don't know what the Raiders are doing. I don't know that they're making decisions like
to win.
Win, if that makes sense. I think that
I don't think this decision is to win.
Which one?
To put Jalen Hurts back from that sprained ankle to sit
But
Gardner.
see, I don't think that's. I think that's Jalen Hurts, and I think that's them respecting
You're
their
a fucking
QB.
rookie, G. Sit the fuck down and learn.
No, you can't. He's already carried the team this season, and for somebody to come in and get the credit, that's like that Nick Foles situation.
It ain't getting the credit.
No take back.
It ain't getting the credit because the Eagles had a bye last week. He played the week before. If you sit out one more week, that is a month of recovery.
Well, time out. He sat out 2 weeks. Last week was a bye. The week before, Gardner Minshew.
That's what I'm saying. So if he sits out this week, you've now gotten a month of recovery.
It's just for an ankle, though. We're not talking about nothing too serious.
Right, but we all know nagging injuries turn into serious ones.
Yeah, they definitely can. Look at Baker.
It doesn't matter how old he is, Mal.
His resiliency is impeccable.
Well, we'll see. That's what we're about to see. All right.
His resiliency is impeccable.
And I feel like with that sprained ankle, you better be thanking the football gods that Chase Young isn't on that line too, because you're not moving like you normally move, and he's not a
Chase Young's injured
quarterback,
right?
That's why I said thank the football gods. He's not lined up on that line across from you.
Right. You're right.
You're not mobile, football, bro. You're not mobile, and your whole game consists of being mobile. So sit down.
No, I agree. I think with football, you should sit down because, I mean,
too much
those injuries are no joke. I think you should sit down and really heal so you can play to the best of your abilities. If one more week is all he needs, I feel like he should definitely sit down. I understand him being scared for his spot. And that could be his, the competitive nature in him. I understand that aspect too. But again, I feel like I feel like though with Minshew, it's gonna show himself. I mean, I don't want to say it for sure because anything can happen, but he will eventually turn into the player that he was with the Jags, and he will tank. Good game, then tank. Like I said, I've been meaning to say it. I've been trying to get it out for like 10 minutes. He reminds me of the same. What's the quarterback that's injured for Washington that they
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Right.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick is the same way, in the sense of like he comes out and he'll have these great games and then he won't do anything. And I think Minshew is kind of like that.
I can see the comparison. Go ahead.
Remember when he was in Miami? Fitzpatrick was in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He had some hot games. I think they came out hot, and it was like they was looking at him like, "Hey, Miami is hot," and then he didn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? He'll throw 3-4 touchdowns and then couldn't throw any like the next game.
But he had already been in the league for a little bit too.
Man, he runs hot and cold. That's the feeling that I get from Minshew.
But that's right now at the moment. All I'm getting at right now is all it is a feeling, because you haven't given that boy a chance to show you. The same way, like I said about Odell, that's just a feeling because he hadn't gotten in a situation where he can show you.
Right.
And I understand going off of feelings or instincts because that's what we do, especially as podcast, hosts that talk about sports. But I'm just saying, if we're basing it off of a body of work, he hadn't given us enough to start rating him yet.
Well, shit, that might be what Jalen Hurts is thinking. He might see the fire in this little dude and be like, man, I'm not about to let this nigga get no chance.
And to your point,
I can tell he wants it, and he can see, okay, those are nice. I can see what he's doing. There's some talent there. And he might not, he might not want to give him a chance because he sees what the potential.
Oh, he broke for a 21-yard run for a first down too? Oh, I really need to get back in there. Yeah, he was doing all that shit. And my whole thing is to give Jalen some
props. Credit.
I don't want to say props, but credit is the fact that the same thing happened to you with Tua in Alabama.
That's why I'm saying he traumatized. What are you talking about? This nigga, he is like, this ain't happening to me.
Right.
Not again. Oh, hell no.
Aren't you the guy, Cliff? Aren't you the guy, Cliff, that I had an offline conversation with at one point, and you said, hell, all the injuries I've had, I've always played through injuries. I've always said, basically, I think you had said something about if you don't play while you're hurt,
tell him, Malcolm.
Letting your team down.
Tell him.
Right,
so,
but it's no.
Go ahead, it's different. Of course, it's different. You're a Raiders fan.
No. It's not. That doesn't have nothing to do with being a Raiders fan. What it has to do with is I never got paid, nor did anybody else next to me. Now, see, that's what people are going to start understanding with this whole college players getting paid now. Is once you begin to start making money, you now get audited for the job that you do.
Right.
See, before it was just for the love of the game, the drive to want to be able to get your family out. But now that you're making the money, even though you're not yet a pro, remember I always had that rule. I won't talk bad on a college player because that's fucking up their bag. They didn't get a chance to get a contract yet, so I don't want to be the guy that's downing them before they get looked at. But now, now that you get paid, I get to start auditing you like a professional. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the difference is Jalen Hurts is getting paid. So you can let your team down for a game or two if that adds on years to your career and more money in your pocket. Let's be honest. If I'm thinking like Jalen Hurts, we can make the playoffs. It's not going to be no Cinderella story. Not as long as Tom Brady's in there too. Let's be real. Why would I risk my ankle long term when I know, just like Lamar Jackson, my job consists on the fact that they're scared I might run too. If you put Jalen in the pocket and say don't leave here, y'all don't do that. He's the number one guy that gets y'all rushing touchdowns. He's the number one guy that gets y'all rushing first downs. So how do y'all make it then if he can't rush?
Well, Cliff, look at our offensive line. I mean, that's number one why he's had to rush because we haven't held up the block. So that's not like he's just running to run. He's running because he's running for his life.
He's not. Now let's be honest. He's
like Russell Wilson.
He's running to run.
Like Russell. At times, yes.
There's
but a lot of the times,
multiple.
the play broke
there's
down.
at least one design run play for him per drive.
Of course, I agree. But I'm saying a lot of the times when he runs, it's probably because the play broke down.
That's when you got to start thinking. Like, do you think that they're gonna have a Peyton or a Brady have one design run play per drive? Even if they could run, why would we take him outside of being protected? Why would we give them the opportunity to hurt our quarterback that's this valuable? So what I'm getting at is the value that he adds is his feet. That is his value. That's his main value.
But he can throw the ball, though. That's not pretending he can't throw the ball.
He can throw the ball. He's not always the most accurate, but he has made some impressive passes. But you can't win a game off that, off just passing. You can't. You can't. And let's be honest, you as an Eagles fan, you know, just passing with Jalen Hurts, you're not winning. You're not. It's just not happening. So what I'm saying is, if you are limited in the one thing that you have that makes you you, why risk that and come off the bench? Because if this really does turn into a nagging injury, turns into a one that's going to stick with you for a while, that could change
He's traumatized.
The course of your career.
Well, I mean, and he sees other guys doing it. Cliff, not to make an excuse. I mean, didn't Kyler Murray have the... He did.
Kyler's been out a few times. So you see the blueprint of a running quarterback.
Yeah, but they're also not rookies.
I mean, that's true, but these are still guys that are newer to, like, Kyler Murray's in what is like is he in what his third year, Kyler Murray?
Yeah,
Kyler Murray's in like his
third.
Year.
Yeah.
He's still
look
fresh.
Look who's coming
is he
behind
fresh,
him.
though? I mean, he hasn't had a very serious injury, but he's been injured damn near once per year. You could say the same about Lamar. Anytime you are a running quarterback, you are going to be out a game or two.
I mean, I'll take that. I'll take their injuries. They have been set out for long periods of time. I mean, think of you're saying that, but like, I mean, look at Carson Wentz that year.
Right.
Look, I mean, he's not a running quarterback. Look how long he was out.
He was banged up,
but he was running
the same way.
His ass sure
he was running. That was to his own. That was to his own fucking fault. Motherfucker, he should have kneeled like Tom Brady.
That's what I'm saying. Listen,
do.
The blueprint has been laid out for everyone to see. And I'm not saying don't run, right? I'm just saying, like, how mad I was when the Bills beat the Ravens in that playoff game to go, what was it, last year?
Uh-huh.
I said Lamar Jackson literally in the first half of the game threw 5 passes. Everything else was a design run to him.
Right.
I'm not allowing you. I don't give a fuck if you're my coach. No. I'll audible every time. Every time I go to the line, I'll audible. I am not about to run every fucking play for you.
Oh, you don't want to give away.
Get a running back. So what I'm saying is that comes with your value. If your coach will allow you to do that, that either means that they don't value you or that is your value. We don't win without you running. That's why we got you. So you're going to have to run. With that being said, and I don't want to continue harping on it, but with that being said, why risk your bread and butter? I don't give a fuck if Minshew comes up and gets us to the playoffs. Doesn't matter to me. They still see what I did.
So maybe you're right. So maybe that's what they're thinking. Maybe that's exactly it, Cliff. Maybe Philadelphia is thinking, let's go ahead and let Jalen play. I'm sure he's, like Brittany said, he's wanting to play. If something happens to him, God forbid, we'll put Minshew in. And we know that Minshew's going to step in and he's
that's where it comes. And I understand he's a rookie, but that's when it comes up to Jalen Hurts to be like, you know what? Nah. Give me another game. You think they're going to be like, no, you got to show up. You got too many occurrences. You're out of here. No, they're going to give him another game if he says, I need another game.
Well, let me play devil's advocate because I agree with you, Brett, again. Okay, he sits out another game. Gardner Minshew has a pretty good game or a decent game. like Brittany said, knowing how Philly is, we want to roll with the hot hand. You know,
Right.
now we're going to end up saying, we don't want you to play Jalen. We're winning with Minshew 2 games in a row. Keep playing with Minshew.
So how many teams are knocking down your door to get Jalen then? Jalen's not just going to sit on nobody's bench.
He's not. So to my point, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
No, I feel like you're good if you do, you're good if you don't. You're good if he takes y'all to the playoffs. Yeah, I feel like, but you will be somewhere else. That boy has done enough in his rookie year to show teams how much potential he has. There are going to be teams knocking down Philly's door for him if they see that they're going with Minshew. So either way, he's good. I may even be able to get a couple extra dollars out of the deal in this situation.
But he may want to stay in Philly. He may be like a Dame Lillard, Cuddy. He may true real life like Philly.
And that's cool. But just like Dame Lillard, you gonna start having a question at the end of the years. Does my loyalty keep me with Philly or do I go for a ring? Because Dame Lillard gets a ring damn near anywhere else he goes.
Right.
Dame said he ain't leaving, but here's my thing too, and not to dwell on the situation. And I don't know what the protocol is, but if Jalen is saying he's good, who is the team to say that he's not good? You know what I'm saying? Like
the investment, you're our investment. So if something awful, tragic happens, I get fired.
If he's saying he's good to play, right? If he's saying he's good to play, who are they to go against this man saying he's good to play?
That's the same reason that in high school and when you play growing up, you'd be like, I'm good, coach, and they'd be like, nah, sit down.
Right.
Because you know that in that situation, you're not thinking logically. You're thinking about what if Minshew shows me up. All the what ifs are flowing through your head. So you're not thinking what's best for the team, what's best as a whole right now. You're thinking, I need to get in for me. So it's the coach's job to be like, I definitely hear you, son. We're not in a situation where we truly need you at the moment. I don't think we should risk it. I think you should sit. So go ahead and sit.
No risk it, no biscuit, huh? Bruce Arians method, huh?
You're not.
No risk it, no biscuit.
It's not a win or a lose if y'all get this victory. You know what I mean? It doesn't change your season drastically.
Do you think? Let me ask you this: do y'all think if it was Tom Brady, let's say it was Tom Brady in this situation, like
you
Jalen
put him
Hurts,
in. You put him in.
You said you put him in
because
you don't
he
have
has
him sit?
Experience, and he's on the end of his leg anyway.
I think you put him in because
he's Tom Brady. You're
going to trust his opinion.
Right.
His opinion and his take is valued more than Jalen Hurts at this point because of his veteran status,
right,
and his track record. He's proven, and that's the thing. When you're proven, you should have more say. So, of course, I don't think that's a good comparison. I think we would have to kind of use somebody else. I think he's too much of the GOAT to even, question for real.
Right.
If he says he wants to play, then he's going to play.
You might get fired the other way with Brady. Like if you were the guy that says, no, you're too valuable, sit on the bench. You might get fired. Talk. Like, are you serious? You told Brady to...
Brady gonna run to the owner. Remember like
now,
he did with Rob.
That's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation since we talking about those.
Brady was that kid that told in class. He said, oh, what? All right, I'm going to go tell the teacher. Look,
but
I'm playing with him.
What we're talking about, again, I've been mentioning it.
I don't know if I agree, but continue. I just don't know if I agree with that statement.
And I don't know what the deal is in the NFL. I mean, I would love to know more, and maybe I need to do more research, but it's like, what's going on to where they are comfortable letting these players play? Like with Baker, I hate to go back to the Browns, talk about the same teams all the time, but Baker has been injured majority of this season, and they are continuing to let him play, probably because he wants to, but his stats are below average. So my thing is, why are you letting this man play knowing he's injured and give you below average stats? It'd be different if he was playing and he was able to produce on a decent level, but it's like, why are you allowing somebody to play with subpar stats? I need to know, because to me it doesn't make sense. And listen, I mean, I know why he wants to play.
Right.
I don't know why the team is allowing him to play.
I'll tell you, because like Al Davis would say, it's business, baby. If me and you both work for Philly, right, and you were involved in selecting Jalen Hurts in that pick, and I was involved in getting Gardner Minshew as a backup, even though we're on the same team, we're hoping for two different things. And if I win, I then get promoted. I then get moved up. I then get placed as this guy knows. And if you win, the same thing happens. So you would never say, Jalen, don't play this game, because you're competing with me, the guy that made the other decision. So you're going to be in his ear saying, you know what? If you feel like you're well enough, go out there and do it, because your job's on the line.
I mean, I get it in maybe from that perspective. But again, if we take it back to the Browns, it's not the same. It's not like, hey.
Yeah, every team's different. Yeah, it's
the backup for the, what is it? Who does the backup for the Browns?
The backup for the Browns?
Yeah, I was going to say Whedon. It's not Whedon.
Hey,
it's
Siri.
Case
Who
Keenum.
are the Browns? Cleveland Browns?
Yes. So,
Case Keenum? Okay.
Case Keenum does not have the talents that Minshew has. Baker, in my opinion, is not worried about his losing his job to Case Keenum. So again, and the Browns clearly want Baker to play. So why would you not allow this man to heal for a couple weeks? He should have been set out, healed for a couple weeks, and then came back and played to his highest potential. Now, you did spark something in my head when you said it's about business. Now, the only thing I can think of, it could be about business for them in the sense of, all right, you're in a contract year. So if you get out here, if we let you play and you play like crap, we don't have to pay you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, wouldn't that make Baker want to sit then?
Well, I think Baker wants to play because he is in a contract year, so he wants to he wants his money. But I think that the team should have stopped him from play. I think the team should have stopped him from playing because he's not putting up the stats, and his injuries are lingering.
Right.
Like you said, they get worse. Like his injuries are getting worse. He's getting fucked up on the field. Every game he has to take a moment, and it's just like, hey, just sit out and heal. You know what I'm saying? But again, if they're thinking from a business perspective, like, hey, you know what? When it comes time to negotiate this man's contract,
right? Fuck them injuries. We saw what you did.
Like, we're going to be like, listen, you weren't producing, so now we can possibly keep you for some more years and not even pay you what we would have had to have paid you.
It's business,
based off of your performance this year.
That's that.
But I don't know if they're thinking like that. But that's the only thing. You kind of sparked it.
You think they ain't? You think they ain't when they is? No, just
who said you think they ain't when they is?
But we'll move on. We'll move on. We didn't spend too much time on Malcolm King's weak ass Eagles.
Oh, that boy shouting out my government.
Nigga, look at your fucking.
I know. Look, I know it's on this guy. No,
it's on the credits. It's everywhere. God damn. But let's get on my squad.
Oh Lord.
Let's hop on my back.
Raiders.
Oh yeah. Let's
Browns,
do it. Yeah, let's do
don't do like the Raiders.
Raiders. 48 Neener. 48-9.
Go Raiders.
48-9.
48-9. That was y'all score last week?
48-9.
Chiefs beat them to 48-9.
Oh, they was tearing y'all up. Oh my God. I forgot I watched the beginning. I mean, they came out hot. That's how you want your team to come out. They came out hot.
But you know what? Even beyond them coming out hot, it was just a lot of dumb. It was just a lot of dumb, not even like decisions, but plays. Like, Josh Jacobs had that fumble that got returned for a touchdown. Like, it was like a 15-yard run, and as they was tackling him, he just dropped it. Just dropped the ball, and he picked it up. And then there was another one to Morrow, the tight end, where he threw it, and it bounced off his shoulder pad, popped in the air, and they intercepted it. It was just like, why is the dumb shit going on?
Hey, no offense. No, two reasons why it could be going on. You know, I hate to go back to my Browns, but, you know, if your QB, if the timing is not right, that can throw off everything.
And that Morrow pass was a little behind him.
With the receivers. And damn, I was about to say something else. Oh, no offense to your team, but I think that the
No
Chiefs
offense.
came out with the right. They came out with the right game plan because here's my thing. If I feel like they came out like this, listen, it was how much 39? You said it was what to what?
9.
We gonna come out like this. We gonna get 40 points, right? 35 points really, but we 35 minimum. We gonna get 35 points, 35 to 40 points. We want to score.
Right.
If we score 35 to 40 points, we know that they can't keep up. So don't even worry about what they doing. Don't even worry about them scoring. We're gonna score 35 to 40 points. We know that they're not going to be able to put that many points on the board.
Right.
And I really think that was the game plan, and they just ran with it. Your QB cannot keep up with that.
Right. You're absolutely correct.
Even if those passes didn't happen and those fumbles, et cetera, he cannot keep up with that type of game.
You're right.
He cannot keep up with. He can't go back for back. He can't go blow for blow. He can't do that.
No.
He doesn't have the ability. They would have had to come in with a game plan, and I don't even know that you guys have those type of coaches to where they can change the game. We're gonna have to slow the game down.
You trying to see
it? I'm just saying, like, that's how you guys would have had to have come in. We're gonna slow this game down to where they're not gonna have the opportunity to score 35, 40 points. We want them in the 21 range, because if we keep them in the 21 range, then we can make it a ball game. Like, they literally had to come out with the hoping to slow the game down and play their ball, but I don't feel like they had any type of plans.
Yeah,
I don't think they practiced.
They got too many holes. They got too many. Okay, let me rephrase. Let me try to rephrase this statement, right? Because every team has holes. The Bucks have holes. The Chiefs have holes. Every team have holes. But the Raiders have too many exploitable holes. Like, their holes are big. They're easy to jump into, right? And
no cover up. They ain't even trying to put no leaves over
like no traps, no nothing. It's just a big ass hole right there for you, and
they just open.
They take them every time, and I feel like one of them is very clearly run defense. We have absolutely no run defense, and the run opens up the pass. And when you're working with somebody like Patrick Mahomes, all you need is a halfway decent rush, and that's going to be enough to let him get rid of it, let it fly type shit. And they were running on us all day long. It was a rough game to watch, but like I said to Malcolm, to be honest, I'm hoping, well, I don't know if that's all the way true. I was going to say I'm hoping Russell comes over next year. Because I know he's not coming back. Yeah, I know he's not coming back to Seattle.
Yeah, I ain't heard him talking about coming to Vegas, though.
He was on the list. They was on the list.
Okay.
When he announced last year, they was on the list. And my whole thing with that is
going down south, but we'll see.
You think he is?
Mm-hmm. I think he's going down south. I don't know why. I was looking at a couple things this week, earlier today, and have they let Mariota play yet?
Mm-mm.
I don't know why I was thinking he might play this week. I don't know
couple little drives, but no.
I don't know if Carr's going to get injured, but something in my gut was telling me Mariota was going to play this week.
I hope something in your gut is right.
We'll see what happens. Something was telling me Mariota might play.
My stepdad said, my little brother went to the Raiders Washington game in Vegas because he's a big Washington fan, my stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying when they was at the game that even the crowd was upset when they took Mariota out the game. And I said, now that says something, right? Because everybody's been for Carr. So if the actual fans are starting to be like, where's Mariota? You're going to have to eventually give him to us. The longer that you guys hold on to Carr, the more disappointed I'm going to be in you guys. And that's really the difference. That's the difference between you and Philly. You was talking about decision making. And I said, I think Philly makes more decisions to win because Philly would have dropped Carr by now. They would have let Carr go. That's why I kind of gave them the upper hand. Like, Philly not holding on to that. Like, they gave you your time. This is he deep in the game, in my opinion. Carr's on the edge, though, right? Carr's on the edge because it's like
Man,
like
listen.
we say, Russell Westbrook, you put up stats to where you start to question yourself, like, what's going on here? Like, how is he doing that and we're still not getting it done? Like, is it us or is it him? And I feel like the Raiders, just like OKC and who else? I don't want not Houston so much, but I feel like there was somewhere else I was thinking. It took them time to realize it's you, that nothing else is working. I feel like they are moving pieces around Carr to see what fits. And after all these years, they're starting to see there is no fit. It's not fitting. So it has to be you. And I think that takes time when you do have a 5,000-yard quarterback on your hands, because you don't just want to get rid of that. But at the same time, it's like, well, wait, is it us why he's not scoring, or is it him? And I feel like it's been enough years for us to know it's clearly him. He has to get off there.
I feel like
I take Sierra at this point. Fuck Russell. I take Sierra. She tall. She gonna see over the line. You know her footwork is amazing. You hear what I'm saying?
Stop.
Give me Sierra Wilson.
First of all, you put a lot of pressure on Carr, but let me just recall.
You shut the
GM
fuck up.
is Mike Mayock. Okay, your GM is Mike Mayock, who was the draft board guru of college football.
Clear him out.
Right.
Clear him out.
Now, if Carr still fucks up after you clear him out, if that's the case,
no, because you can't. Mayock wasn't always there GMing since Carr been there.
But the Raiders make bad decisions when it comes to coaching and management.
You've had too many cards shuffled around you. Regardless of who's in the office, you've had too many cards shuffled around you, meaning talent that they've put on the team, meaning people who've run the team, all that. Let me ask you this. Absolutely nothing is working, it's got to be you, G. But what you got?
What was you guys' record last year?
That's a good question. Let me check.
I want to know the last 2 years what your record was.
8-8. Like 8-8.
Yeah, because I don't want to throw it out. I don't even think it was that, to be honest.
Probably 7-8.
Last year it was. Oh no, you're right, Malcolm. You were 8-8.
Yeah, I knew it. I know a bum when I see one.
Yeah, you were 8-8 last year.
Yeah, 8-8 last year. Year prior, probably around the same thing, right?
7-9.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, he got to go, because my thing is you got to do something right, and I would prefer it be wins. So even if it's not like great wins, you know what I'm saying? Like they could be ugly wins, but you got to get us the wins. And my thing is that
18, we was 4-12.
Win.
So maybe that jump was enough for him. They was like, you was 4-12 and 18, then you went 7-9 the next year. That's good. We'll see if he does a little better next year. 8-8. That's enough for us to be like, give him one more shot, but it's not enough for you to give him that extension and send Khalil Mack to Chicago.
Again,
a Philly Vegas decision.
They really do just love dude, because there's no way I feel like he should be gone. Like, I mean, I'm happy they kind of gave him a chance, but I mean, his time is up. So if he's you guys' starting quarterback next year, I feel like you should really consider getting a new team, because at this point,
Sierra.
It's not about winning. It's not even about winning anymore. This is just them personally liking this dude and not wanting to get rid of him. And I feel like, again, I don't like stuff like that.
Listen, now you go to Allegiant Stadium and you see them running out from the tunnel, and all you hear is automatic hypnotic something funky fresh. You know that Sierra gonna come out there and throw 3 touchdowns on that ass.
It'll be a liver game than what Carr got going on.
Right. Period. She moonwalking on motherfuckers out there, I'm telling you.
Y'all Raiders fans is doing it like that now. Carl Nassib got y'all singing Sierra lyrics now.
Listen,
before games.
Give us Sierra.
he wants Sierra to be the starting quarterback over Carr.
I'm with that.
I bet he does. Yeah, her and Carl can have practices turned up. They can be singing.
At least they'll be on the same page, motherfucker.
Hey,
listen.
Right. Yeah, y'all gotta do something. At this point, Carr is a backup QB. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this, year 5?
I believe so. Yeah, I think you're right on the money.
He's my age.
Yeah, he got this would be the year after he received his contract. So yeah.
So my thing is, like, if you get 5 years, if you can't do nothing within those 5 years, you've shown what type of QB you are. You are a backup QB. He needs to come behind. What's the nigga in the Patriots?
Mac Jones.
Yeah, he needs to come behind a Mac Jones. Like,
bring him in. Listen, who's the Patriots backup right now? We might take him.
That's a good question.
We might take him in a draft pick.
That's a good question.
But I'm just saying, like, that when we were talking about time, he got his time. There's nothing that happened. Right. I've never heard of a situation.
We talking about Minshew? Y'all being hard on Minshew, and we talking about Carr?
Nah, I mean, I like Minshew. I just said he was inconsistent. But again, Carr has got more than enough time to see what he's going to be. He showed us what he's going to be. He needs to go sit down.
And he's very consistent. He's just consistently below par. Below par Carr.
Below par
Carr. You a fool.
Might be living off his rookie season.
Yeah, but they got to do something with that defense. Fuck the edge rush. We know you got good edge rushers, good DNs. We need somebody, linebackers that's going to stop a run. That's what we need. This nigga giving SOS signals to the kids. What's going on? Is that the time for bed? Military? What the fuck's going? What you got going on?
That's the settle it down.
Kind of fucking sweatshop you? No, I'm just playing. Let's move on. I wish Callie and Mike was on pod so we could get on their teams. Bucks Bills. I actually went with the Bills in this one, I believe.
Bucks and you went with the Bills?
Yeah, I did go with the Bills in this one.
Shit.
I went with the Bills in this one, and I think that if they see each other again, I think the Bills get it.
Nah,
I do.
Who won, the Bucks in
Bucks
overtime?
Won by 6 in overtime, yeah. And it was on I won't call it a fluke, but I believe it was a 65-yard touchdown reception.
Oh yeah, the Pyramid.
Yeah,
I seen that. Yeah. No, I would have called the Bills in regular season. If they meet again, I always call the Bucks in the playoffs.
In the playoffs. Nah, I don't.
I would have called the Bills, but I didn't cast my vote. But yeah, I can't even go against Tom Brady in the playoffs to some young buck. I can't.
I know what you mean, but I think Josh Allen is the real deal.
Nah, he's good. I don't take anything from him.
He's been showing his weaknesses this year. Talk about an off season for somebody.
What weaknesses?
Josh Allen's had an off season. What you mean? You see him lose to the Jacksonville? They didn't. What they lose? Like 9-3.
You shouldn't be losing to Jacksonville, but I mean everybody has a bad game.
Right. I mean, but they've got balled up by a couple teams.
Listen, but you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. That sounds like you was kicking it, doing coke in the hotel rooms all night and said you was going to run to the fight real quick and handle business, and you came back with an L. Now, I'm not saying Josh Allen was in the hotel rooms doing cocaine.
Allegedly.
No, I'm not even alleging. I'm not even alleging that. I'm just saying I know you're not Mike Tyson.
Right.
But at the same time, that's the same feeling that I get from that. We're playing Jacksonville. Let's go see what kind of bars they got out here.
Yep.
We got a dub tomorrow.
We in Florida. I mean, or wherever they were. But my thing is just like, I think we had talked about it before, or maybe I heard something where they were saying like sometimes when you play a sorrier team like that, it's almost like you skip over to the next week.
Yeah, you play down.
And it's like, oh, you don't even really prepare for them because you just assume that you're going to beat them. and you're preparing most of that week for whoever you got next week.
Playing
so
down
they're preparing
to Jacksonville is too much. That's too much.
Yeah,
there was a specific point
terrible.
in time where we were betting on who gets the win first, Jacksonville or Detroit.
Right.
So how the fuck, if you are supposed to be champion contenders, do you ever not wake up for a Jacksonville game? That better be the only reason we lose at Jacksonville is y'all motherfuckers must have not set y'all's alarm clock. Because I don't get it. I don't get that. Now, overlooking or playing down that far, that says something. But you can't really question them because in all the big games, they come up. Even against the Bucks, they show themselves. They show how good they are. And I've never seen a quarterback that's been able to bully motherfuckers like Josh Allen.
Dolphins signed former Raiders first rounder Damon Arnett to practice squad.
That's a good pickup. That's a great pickup. For the Dolphins, that's a great pickup. And I guarantee he goes off.
Did y'all hear about the Urban Meyer's latest situation? Did y'all see that article I sent to y'all before the show?
Nah.
Something about him kicking the kicker or something like that?
He got a lap dance again?
Yeah. Former Jaguars kicker Josh Lambo says head coach Urban Meyer kicked him before preseason practice.
Now, how did he kick him?
So here's the story real quick.
I believe it.
I do too, but how though? Like, give me the context of how he kicked him.
This is per NFL.com. Original content writer, shout out Chase Goodbread. It says, I'm in a lunge position, left leg forward, right leg back, Lambo told the Times. And then it says, Urban Meyer comes up to Josh Lambo while stretching and says, hey, dipshit, make your fucking kicks. And kicks him in the leg. And it says that the kick, I'm guessing his kicking leg, I'm assuming.
Well, how did he kick him too? Did he kick his foot back so he stretched more? Because I've had coaches do that. Like, you're not stretching far enough. Get follow through on your kick, bitch, and kick this foot back like you're not stretching.
I'm assuming it's like the back of the quad. I'm assuming.
Did he kick
like
his leg?
Stomped him out? Like a stomp out? Like a
hoo-yah,
right.
To the back of the leg.
Wait, he's in a lunge position though.
He's stretching.
Right. Like his quad. Right, his quad.
So he would have had to stomp down on it, like on some Blueface shit.
That could have been it.
The part is alleged. We don't know if he stumped him.
Right. But that's what I'm saying.
Did he kick him to show him how he wanted him to kick?
That's another thought that I had. Like,
so it says that Lambo says the kick was a 5 out of 10, and it says
he's not a kicker. He's a recruiter.
No, the Urban Meyer kick.
Right, he's not a recruiter. He's not a kicker. He's a recruiter. So that's decent.
No, he's saying that he kicked him. Like the strength of it is like a pain.
Right, he's not a kicker. If he was a kicker, that bitch would have been you really be reporting about him getting kicked. But since he's a recruiter, he can't kick anyway. So that's to be expected. You're 5 out of 10, bitch. You ain't been making field goals.
So Josh Lambo then proceeds to say, I don't care if it's football or not. The boss can't strike an employee. And for a second, I couldn't believe it actually happened. And then Josh Lambo proceeds to say to Urban Meyer, don't you ever fucking kick me again. And Urban Meyer's response was, I'm the head ball coach. I'll kick you whenever the fuck I want.
No, I fucks with Urban though. I do fucks with Urban even though I don't.
I don't doubt it happened.
Hey, you know what I think that was? I think that was a power move. I think that Urban is used to having all the power,
right?
Way more power at Ohio State than he has in the pros. And I think that, it's kind of like, you ever see somebody pick on the weakest link type deal?
That's what I was about to say. He kicked the guy he knew he
kicked the kicker because he knows that's like
kick Trevor Lawrence.
Huh?
Kick Trevor Lawrence. Kick him.
Nah, he He's not going to kick anybody that is important, and
but
he's not going to kick
listen,
anybody.
He missing passes. He missing field goals. You missing passes. So if you get kicked in the quad, he need kicked in his throwing arm.
That was a power. Like I said, that was a power move. He needed to try to show that he had some type of power, that he wasn't afraid. He just used the kicker to do it. So, like I said, and they said this was preseason, right?
Mm-mm.
No,
yeah, this was preseason.
Was it?
Yeah, so this is early on when he's still trying to establish.
They cut Josh Lambo.
As they should. As you should. As you should.
Right.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Power play. I'm gonna kick you and I'm gonna cut you.
I get it though. I don't get it because, like he said, from that's a very millennial response, right? I don't think that any ball should kick in him. Well, you're a football player first and foremost. You're a football player. Secondly, you're padded. Thirdly, how many times can you think of a coach, doing some shit? Like, I remember, coaches will rough you up.
Right, low key.
Like, back when they could.
Mm-hmm.
And your parents would be like, get on him. You know what I mean? Like, back when they could.
Kick Billy's ass.
Now, I'm not saying that Urban wasn't wrong, but I'm saying Lambo was even more wrong for not taking that opportunity to fuck him up.
Maybe he knows about his prior health problems.
Listen, clearly, you missing field goals too, and you probably ain't gonna be around here much longer. But listen, you put hands on me, you can guarantee.
Again, Urban knew what he was doing. If the dude was missing field goals, he knows his job is on the line. If he fuck his coach up, his job really gone. He probably was trying to keep his job.
Get arrested.
Watch me make this one, coach. I'm gonna make this kick.
He was just trying to keep his little kicking job. He just wanted his little kicking job.
You already lost it.
At the moment, he hadn't lost it yet.
Listen,
and he may have been trying to focus on getting back in line, because at one point he was a decent kicker.
Urban's messing up, because I'm also seeing a report from today on NFL.com that says Jaguars wide receiver Marvin Jones addresses reported spat with Urban Meyer. We handled it like grown men. I see a whole lot of Urban drama lately.
But no, I respect lot of Urban drama. That's respect. That's a respect thing, though. If you have somebody like him saying we handled it like men, what that lets me know is that Urban doesn't have a problem expressing himself to anyone.
But your name's been in bad news too much lately, and you're 2-11.
Well, that's where it comes out. You're 2-11. Right?
There's no room for error.
If you were Bobby Knight, they probably would have let you get away with it for 20 years before they made a documentary about it.
Wait, that was crazy.
Back in the day, like you were saying, you get away with shit like that. Choke the shit out of you, smack the fuck out of your players,
yank my neck from grabbing my face mask and shaking me around. I've been there. And that's to be expected, though. I'm not saying it's
not
right
anymore.
I'm not saying it's right by no means. But at the same time, like I've been saying in so many different episodes, these players get hurt because they're not acclimated to the war of the game. The less you're willing to take a hit or get hit, that raises your stock for injury the first time you do get hit. The more you take hits, the more you learn to absorb, the easier it is to take a hit and get back up after it.
So I got two things that I want to.
I don't want my hits on the sideline.
No, right. That's why if you hit me, listen. If a high school coach would have did me like that, I probably would have been suspended, expelled, whatever the case. Because I'm grown now, motherfucker.
Right.
This ain't no little kid shit, and my parents ain't watching. You put hands on me. This is basically a freebie for me. Because somebody saw you do that, and I'm about to show you why you shouldn't.
I think that's what would get me, is that especially that it happens in front of other people.
Like in a practice. Like, bitch, are you really disrespecting me like that?
Yeah, like that's bold.
That's why it happened,
that's actually
man.
bold.
It's all psycho.
That's
I understand the psychology.
Right. And I'm
behind
about
it.
to knock
He
the
did
whole
it
psyche out your dome.
to show the other players he ain't no chump. He just picked, like I said, he picked the weakest link. I ain't got to worry about this white boy kicker doing nothing to me. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if he would have fucked him up, then it'd have backfired, and they'd have been like, "Oh, we got this weak ass recruiter coach that gets fucked up by a kicker. Not even a good kicker, but I'm just playing. I ain't gonna keep hating on my guy."
So I'm seeing also, according to today on NFL.com, it says Browns coach Kevin Stefanski tests positive for COVID-19, may not be able to coach against the Raiders on Saturday's game.
Half our team is out. Half our team is out Saturday, so it ain't really no big deal for real. He be with the rest of them niggas at
How
home.
much was he helping anyway? We just had
the head coach.
We just had a whole 30-minute conversation at the beginning of the podcast about how y'all can't make adjustments.
Yeah, well, so, I'm sure they still want their coach there.
Yeah,
right.
It may be time for you to sit out just like Carr.
And Cliff, speaking of Carr, I'm so glad you just said his name. I want to get your take on this quote by Carr.
I'm clairvoyant, B.
So, I guess Carr was asked about by a reporter.
Did it end with amen?
No.
It had to probably start with it. You know, he gonna get his
that nigga pray like a Muslim boy. I'm telling you.
Tim Tebow on.
I think they scared to get rid of his ass. They don't want the wrath of God. Like, I don't know who they think this
at this point,
they didn't care about getting rid of Tebow. Well, teams, that can't be it, because teams didn't care about getting rid of Tebow. And he prayed.
They knew he was faking. Carr real with him.
Oh, that's wrong. You wrong for that. She said Tebow was faking. She gonna do my man Timmy like that.
Funny. Oh, God bless
Timmy Tebow. But anyways, so I guess a reporter had asked Carr about the team's playoff hopes. So it says Carr, quote unquote, stated a quote from the movie Dumb and Dumber, and said, "It's not going to be easy, but you are telling me that we have a chance." What are your thoughts on that, Clifford, from your quarterback?
I think that's a fitting fucking movie for him to be quoting.
No, I think you need to stop. I would be offended. Stop playing. Stop playing with me. That's how I feel as a fan. I'd be like, stop playing with me. You out here quoting Dumb and Dumber. We try and get into the playoffs every year, and you out here doing this shit. Like, no, stop playing with me. Get serious. I want a real response at this point. That's how I feel.
No, I agree. Response. I don't. Like I told Malcolm, I said that I can't remember what week it was, but I said from here on out, I think the best bet for the Raiders would be to lose every game so they see clearly Carr's not the guy.
It's not even just Carr for real, in my opinion. Like, what do
it's not
you all
even
have?
just
I'm trying
it's not him.
I'm trying to think of like what you all do well. Like, what do you have?
Oh shit! She said, "Well."
No, I'm not even being. It's not even trying to be funny. I'm just like, what do you have?
Well, what do you mean, like as far as the team goes?
Yeah, like when somebody plays you guys, what are they gonna be like looking for?
So let me give you an analogy, right? Because I know me and Mark talk about shit off podcast, right? And I know this isn't a Saturday show, but I feel like the perfect analogy in this situation would be the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay.
And the only reason why I say that is because now the difference between, not to make it a long story, but the difference between now and when LeBron was on the team is that this team came together organically. It's a young team that came together through draft picks, and they're coming up right now with a player coach in Kevin Love. Now, the correlation between the two is what the Raiders do have is a lot of young talent. At this point in your career, whether it be your fifth year or not, you're considered an experienced player. And it's your job to be a Kevin Love and coach these players and put them in the best position possible. But since you can't do that with your passing alone, there's no way you're going to be able to do that quoting Dumb and Dumber when the press is asking you questions. How do you motivate a man? Like, you're talking about motivating the fans, but how do you then motivate a man who feels like I'm not getting enough out of you and you're supposed to be my leader? That then becomes very hard. So in that regard, as much as I talk bad about Kevin Love not doing it on the court, you're doing pretty good right now coming off the bench and coaching up the young bucks. I just wish Carr would do 75% of what you're doing and they would be all right. So that's what they have. They don't have anything spectacular at the moment with the losses of Henry Ruggs and Arnett and all these other players that are making dumb decisions, but they have young talent that can grow into household names in the league, and Carr's not doing enough to get them where they need to be, in my opinion.
Understood. What I was just saying, it was really just a general statement.
Right, but we don't have much.
Like, when they think of if you're playing the Browns, I hate to go back to them, but that's the team I know the most about. If they're playing the Browns, they know they're going to prepare for a heavy run. Like, they're going to prepare to try to stop our run game, right? Like, that's how one of the ways that they can beat us.
Now, that's what we do have is
I don't feel like you guys' run game is
that's awful. No, not our run game. What I'm saying is that's what we do have as far as stopping your offense is we do have a decent DB core.
Okay.
So now that run may be open, but those throws aren't going to be like that. And with Mayfield being the one making them and not Mahomes, I can see a lot more than just one interception this game.
Okay. Or actually, he's not playing. I don't think he's going to play of right now. Yeah, he's in COVID protocol as of right now.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys are looking at Case Keenum.
You know what? I actually think that's a safer bet for Cleveland. I'm not trying to like down Mayfield like that. I'm just saying that Keenum will not take the same risk Mayfield will take.
Oh, yes, he will.
Will.
Yes, he will. He will get out there and try to. He doesn't have the abilities that Baker has. Okay, well, maybe that's what he will. Then, he will definitely try. You know what I'm saying? Like, he will try. When he came and played that game against Denver, that was he took some shots. They just weren't accurate. He just was not accurate. He definitely took some shots though. He's not afraid.
Pay for those shots.
No, they weren't. They were kind of like too long. You know what I'm saying? His accuracy.
That may be that. Now that may be not accuracy so much as intelligence. You know what I mean? Like I may have to throw this one further, and it may be an incompletion, but at least it doesn't get picked. Now, Baker, on the other hand, is trying to fit that ball into a window at 35 yards, and you just don't have the arm talent to do so.
Yeah, I mean, Case did good with his little chip shots, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't have a long ball. He couldn't get that. So he couldn't get certain plays off that we would want. But Baker hasn't been able to get those plays off either, so wasn't like we were missing anything.
Right.
I think that, of course, Baker is clearly the better QB, but
right.
Again, but that was just to say, like I said, I just don't see where you guys
We about to get into it.
A real threat this year. That was the Raiders. I just don't see where the real threat is, and I think that is not just Carr, even though he should be gone after this year. I think it's a coaching thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to definitely coach it up in some particular way. And I just feel like it's just like you guys there's no direction. That's what I feel like.
But at the same
there's
time,
no direction.
I will say, not that we've been talking a lot about holes this episode, but I will say is with Gruden keeping Carr on for so long, that's a pretty deep hole that you've dug for that coach that then takes over. And you can't just choose to throw away your shovel. Carr being the shovel. You still need him to help get you out of the hole before you change tools.
I I disagree. You might have to just scrap it and go to a different yard and start digging. Like,
Then how you get out the hole? How I get out the hole? How do I get to a different yard if I'm still stuck in the hole that Gruden dug for me?
and I don't
need
know.
my
You gotta.
shovel. I gotta keep Carr long enough to get me out this hole. Then I can change tools.
This season is long enough. Like I said, if he can't get it done this season, which is not looking like he can,
right,
then something has to change.
And it's a longer season. It's a 17-game season. I know one game isn't much, but it is in the sense of playing 16 and having to play one
COVID.
more. Well, COVID is the break for a lot of these players because it seems like everybody has at least one COVID protocol game where they got to sit out. So that's at least giving me a break to where I'm still only playing 16 as opposed to 17. But fuck them. Fuck all that. Last game I want to touch, Saints, Jets, and I'll skim through it quick because I know neither one of y'all watched that.
Hell no.
And it wasn't anything to watch, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I don't
have what's the one where you can watch all the games?
NFL Network?
Ticket. The ticket.
Oh, yeah, right. I don't either.
NFL
but
Sunday Ticket.
I ain't even going to stunt. Like, I ain't even going to stunt because I did drop my nephew off. And Callie was over there watching it, but I was standing up. I didn't even stay for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't even stay for 10 minutes watching that game, so I ain't going to stunt on that. But I did watch the highlights. Wasn't enough. Neither quarterback threw for a touchdown. Neither threw for an interception either. But Taysom Hill did have 2 rushing touchdowns in that game. Alvin Kamara ran for 120 yards.
Yeah.
And, Zach Wilson did throw for 202 yards. He was only 45% completion. But I also kind of put that, I give him props because he was working without Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is on injured reserve for the next 2 weeks, I believe. So, and that's his main target. And that's like saying Jalen Hurts doesn't have Deshaun or Devontae Smith. So that's
Isn't the running back out too? They're running back out?
Oh, yeah, they got a lot of running backs out. They only have 2 healthy running backs on their roster right now. One of which dropped, I think, 4 passes in the first quarter. What's his name? Johnson. Can't think of his name. That's why I wish.
Is it like Ty Johnson or something?
Something like that. I think that might be it exactly.
Or do they have Coleman running for them right now?
They got Johnson and what's the one dude that used to run for them a while back? I saw his number get called. I
thought Coleman was the running back for them. The guy that used to be in Atlanta a long time ago.
Nah, not right now.
You sure? Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman.
Yeah.
He played in Atlanta.
Is he healthy?
I thought he was playing.
I thought he played with the Niners.
I saw was the Johnson dude, and
I thought he played for the Jets.
Look it up, Siri.
Hey Siri. What team? Hey Siri.
Fucking Siri asking ass.
Hey Siri. What team does Tevin Coleman play for?
I think he may play for the Jets, but I don't know if he's healthy.
Tevin Coleman plays for the Jets.
He does play for the Jets. Okay.
Is he injured though? Is the next question, because I saw Johnson and I saw somebody else, and it wasn't Coleman that I was thinking of.
Maybe he's in COVID. Maybe he had COVID. He was playing. Maybe he got COVID. He was out last week. I don't know. Everybody get COVID. So
right. That's why I said that's everybody's break. But I'm not gonna say Zach Wilson looked awful. He didn't look awful. I think my biggest critique on him is that you're playing Taysom Hill, right? And let's be honest, even though Zach Wilson's a rookie, I'm putting his arm up against Taysom Hill's arm. The thing is, Taysom Hill will get busy with his feet, and you chose not to. And I feel like there were some plays where you could have took off and like shown him I can throw and run, and that would have made it easier for you. You wouldn't have had that 45% completion rate. But they were touching him though. They were definitely touching him in the backfield. So that's just me. That's just me saying that. That's my biggest critique, and I would say that's a small one if I'm just giving it out on that game. But let's get into these pick'ems, and then we'll hit the showers, and we out of here. We got 20 minutes.
Browns.
Let's go. No, let's go with tomorrow's game first. Let's go with the Chief Chargers. I want to hear what y'all got on that. Then we go on Raiders.
Ooh,
Browns.
where is it?
I think it's in L.A.
I'm going with the Chargers.
Ooh. Okay. What you see him winning by?
It's gonna be close.
Oh, it's gotta be
close. 7 or less.
Okay, I'll put that too. I don't know if I'll give you the spread with or less, but I'll give you the spread if you hit 7. I think I'ma go. Yeah, I can't pick emotionally like I do. I'm going to pick Chiefs 8.
That's going to be a good game because
I feel
like so. The Chiefs are on one. Chargers ain't never really been no slackers.
I love Herbert. So, Justin Herbert's that guy.
So, yeah, I mean, they got a complete team. How long is Keenan Allen out? I just forgot about that.
That's a good question.
I'm going with Chiefs by. I'm going with Chiefs by 3.
You going Chiefs 3?
Yeah.
I also see we at the point now too where I gotta know their record because that lets me know a lot.
You are right, huh? And I'll be writing it down.
Who got something on the line? Who they gonna play a little harder in comparison to.
It says activated on track to play for week 15.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm sticking with Chargers. I wasn't gonna change it, but I was just curious if he was playing.
It says activated off COVID list.
Yeah.
It's expected.
He didn't play last week, but Guyton did his thing, so it didn't really matter.
So Chargers 7. You said Chiefs 3, Malk? Yeah, he said Chiefs 3.
Yeah, Chiefs 3.
Okay. Raiders Browns. Here's what it comes down to.
Ray Browns.
Yeah, stop playing. You had it right the first time.
I gotta go with the Browns by 10.
Ooh. You did that? You had those problems with the Ravens with a backup, and you think you gonna put 10 on us?
Yep, because they should know that the key for y'all is you gotta outscore. Right. You gotta outscore y'all early.
I would say Raiders 3 and OT.
I'll be so mad if y'all did this. Ain't that what happened last time we played y'all? We was kicking field goals.
Yeah.
Y'all.
No. Was that y'all? No, it wasn't. It wasn't you. It was the Ravens.
No, y'all did that with us. Like we had missed some. We had missed the field goal. Or no, we didn't lose by 3. We missed some field goals though, and that was fucking us up.
Okay,
Browns by 14.
Damn, the disrespect.
Okay.
Yeah, the Raiders is trash. Cliff know it.
Y'all got Jalen Hurts against Washington.
Are missing a lot of people. I think we missing 4 offensive linemen.
You said Browns 14?
Browns are missing a lot of people.
Yeah, we're missing
I'm gonna call the Raiders in the upset by 7.
Oh, this nigga here.
Yeah, the Browns is missing a lot of pieces.
I ain't even gonna cross it out. I'm gonna put it in a different spot just so I can say you said.
A buster.
I don't know why you switched like that, Malcolm. You're supposed to grow with your first thought.
Listen, you think long, you think
You're
wrong.
right. I should, but listen, but I forgot about the COVID stuff. Though.
It all right. It's wrote both ways right now. So either way, we know you a chump.
Well, fuck them
right.
both then.
Next one's an easy game. Well, I don't know. After what we've discussed this episode, we got Panthers Bills.
Bills. The Panthers are playing like trash.
Well, how was the Jaguars playing when they beat them?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they play down again. Like, do they? What do we see?
I think it's different because the Jags are like used to losing, so it's like if they get a win on anybody, they're just trying to get whatever win they could on anyone. Whereas the Panthers, I think their morale is down.
I can see that. Is Darnold back?
I don't think so.
Look at me. I'm ready to prepare. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah,
I'm calling Bills by 14.
Okay. I got Bills by 13 written down. Panthers starting quarterback expected to be out for. No, that's not recent. What's recent? Who you got, Mount? Says he's still on IR.
I got Bills by I got Bills by 21.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would. I hate to see
with
it
them
though,
Billies,
I like
bitch.
Cam Newton, but it ain't happening.
All right, Jets Dolphins. That's a very interesting one.
I'm going with the Dolphins.
I am too.
I'm actually going with the Dolphins by 14.
Okay.
I'm going with the Dolphins as well. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins by about 7.
Dolphins 7.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I got a Price is Right cheat, Brett. I gotta go 13 on you.
Hey, will you stop with the 13?
I gotta go 13 on you. I feel it though. That's just what I'm feeling, and I'm gonna hit the spread on both them. Watch. Next, we got Packers Ravens.
Packers.
Is Jackson supposed to play?
They actually said
he hasn't practiced all week.
Yeah, but they said he could, but I don't see it happening.
I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Packers.
Okay. How much you say? I thought I heard.
I didn't say anything. As far as the points.
Well, I'm gonna say what I thought I heard. Then Packers 17.
Hell no. But Packers, yes. I'm gonna say Packers 10.
Packers 10. Damn,
you
let
know
me go
what
in
though? But they
y'all.
are starting Tyler Huntley, and I'm going Packers 17. That's what I heard. That's
Packers
what I'm
15. That's in between.
You ain't even hear it.
Price
You made
is
it up.
righted me back.
Yep.
You made it up.
Mad at that.
Packers 15. I don't know why I want to. I don't want to say it's going to be like a blowout.
Right. I know what you mean.
I want to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable going higher than
I did
going higher than that 17.
I heard 17. I don't know where I heard 17 at, but I'm
in your mind.
Listen,
all right, Netso.
Voices.
Watch out for that now.
What you? You just don't gotta listen. No, I'm just playing. What you got? What you got going?
I said Packers. What by 10?
Packers 10.
Yeah, you said 10.
Yeah.
And here we go. Malcolm's joint. No, we'll say Malcolm's
Eagles.
joint for last.
I'm gonna say.
We'll go.
I'm gonna say Eagles.
I said we'll save it for last.
Oh, okay.
Bengals Broncos.
Bengals. 14. 21. Bengals.
Aren't they
21.
on a 2-game losing streak?
Yeah, Joe ain't gonna stay down like that. Bengals by 20. Bengals by 18.
Bengals
okay.
18. Okay.
Let's say Bengals by 12.
Okay.
Let's go, Joe. I love me some Joe.
I love Joe.
I wish
too.
we had him.
I love Joe too.
Take him over Baker any day.
Bengals 12. I'm going.
I'm still hungry.
I'm going Bengals. Fuck it. I'm pulling a less. I'm going Bengals 13.
That's what I just said.
You said 12, nigga.
Oh, okay. You went off. All right.
So I'm Price is Right you too. Everybody getting Bob Barker today. Lastly, the one Malcolm's been waiting on.
Yep.
Malcolm bye week king.
You're a fool.
What you got on the Washington Eagles game?
That's a hard one.
I told you, got my team. I'm always strong on my team. I got my team. Go ahead, get the win.
Where they at?
It don't even matter where we at. It don't even matter where we at. Brittany, that's the thing.
Nope.
Jalen Hurts should be back.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say Washington. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say Philadelphia beats Washington by about six points. I'm gonna say 6.
6, okay.
Because Washington played Dallas pretty tough last week. If y'all didn't see that.
Yeah.
They only lost by like 6.
Yeah, I did watch that. It was on the same time as that Kansas City game.
Matter of fact,
so I don't
that's the one I got.
Which y'all's defense looking like?
That's the one I got the spread on.
Malcolm.
And defense is suspect. This ain't a given game. Sometimes we look
suspect.
Sometimes we look good. Sometimes we look bad. You know what I mean? Darius Slay sometimes take a pick 6 to the house, and sometimes he missed 3 tackles.
No, ain't even a tackles. He'll drop not drop it.
I'm going with Washington.
Yeah,
I gotta go with Washington. I'm thinking that what is it, Heineke?
Yeah.
I think that loss last week put a little bad taste in his mouth. So I think you guys are going to catch a high performing team and just not be able to beat them because of their desire to win is going to be greater than you guys.
Well, after we beat Washington and the Heineke's, we're gonna go ahead and enjoy some Heinekens in the city of brotherly love.
You weak ass nigga.
So I'm taking Washington by 7.
Ooh, now this one I did not mean. I already had it written down.
Oh my God, Cliff! I
had Washington 8. It was already written down. Look, it's already written down there. That was already.
He has one up me for every answer that I've given today. One up here under me.
What's up with that, Brent? What's Cliff got against you right now?
Listen,
no, I mean, I think I'm taking it as respect. Like he's trusting my opinions here.
Well, that wasn't in the. I'm telling you, that one was already written down. I had a couple that were already in my head.
Before I went on my hiatus, I was killing y'all with the predictions.
Hell no.
No,
I was.
I do gotta give you peace. She was leading. I gotta recount, but
I was always in second. Then.
No, you weren't.
Second or first.
You were not, sir. I just flipped to a page. I ain't even gonna stunt. I was in last. Callie won this one.
Of course you were.
Well, wait a minute here. I'm never in last other than this one. Callie was 7-8, and that's how I know this was a fluke episode.
That must have been that week. It was a tie. That must have been that week. Pittsburgh.
Let me see.
Tie.
Let me see. Nope, had to be or I just didn't write Pittsburgh. It wasn't that one though. And Les didn't even say a tie this week. Oh, that was the week Pittsburgh Browns. Browns lost to Pittsburgh that week.
Bums. True Cleveland. Bums.
No, that's the squad. Cleveland faithful.
That's
should be losing to Pittsburgh.
Shouldn't be losing to Pittsburgh. That's all the picks I got. Who we got for Hit the Showers?
Who you got, Britt? Ladies first.
Damn, I didn't even think about that. Cliff, who you got? Let me reflect.
I think I gotta give it to Britt's boy.
Who?
The next best thing to it. Jadeveon
Clowney.
What do you do?
He got a
What
sack
don't it
last
do?
week, but that's all he got. And I was just like, what the fuck are you doing while Myles Garrett is over here literally backpacking up the whole team?
Taking plays off.
Doing what he was doing on all the other teams.
You right
Seattle.
too. You right too. So let me take that
Seattle
opportunity
and
to point
Houston.
out how wrong I was, because I said I thought that would be Jadeveon Clowney's renewal, and it has not been thus far. And y'all said if he couldn't do it with Watt on his other side, what makes you think he'll do it with Myles? And I just said I had a feeling, and my feeling's been off. But my spreads be right though.
At least you're good for something.
Listen,
but so okay. So my hit the showers while Britt's still thinking is definitely going to the good old Urban Meyer. Urban just
Lambo
for his kick. For kicking.
Just like how did leave shit alone, Urban. Just leave shit alone and coach football. Quit going to the strip club and kicking your players and arguing with your wide receiver, and
maybe that's his style of coaching.
Whatever he did at Florida.
He come from Gainesville.
It's a power move.
He's a thug low key.
I fucks with Urban I fucks with Urban Meyer the same way I fucks with Trump.
Oh, you did that.
Like, I don't agree with damn near anything you say, but I like the gangster about how you go about things.
Okay.
That's understandable.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if I ever agree, but I like how gangster you go about things.
You're not scared. You're bold.
Yeah, that's always a respect thing. What up, baby? She's sneaking.
It's not hidden.
Go.
Understood. So I think
in the kitchen.
I'm gonna go left field here with my hit the showers, and I think I'm gonna give my hit the showers to is the Jake Paul fight this weekend?
Yeah, it sure is.
I'm giving my hit the showers to Jake Paul because I honestly felt like he had a good thing going with his fights, picking the people that he picked, winning, and then he comes back with this rematch of a fight that I don't know that people are dying to see a rematch of.
I don't know.
So I want him to.
I think this is more interesting than the one he had. Than Tommy Fury.
I don't think so.
You think Tommy Fury would have been better?
Yeah. I do.
Now, what I say,
I think it would have been better for him because I think that he would have had
right.
I think he would have had a better chance of beating him, and I think it would have added on to his legacy of, hey, I'm still undefeated. I'm still popular. Nobody's beaten me yet, so he can continue to talk shit.
Right.
With this one, it's like, all right, we already seen you fight. You're not a professional fighter to the level that we would want to see a rematch.
You mean as far as Tyron goes?
Yeah, like
I think Tyron had him finished, and the only reason why he didn't actually take that victory is he didn't let his hands go. But I think if he'd have let his hands go against him, he'd have finished Jake in that fight.
And that's my whole thing. Like, I don't feel like the fight was interesting enough for people to want to see it again.
I think it's more dangerous now for Jake because there's nothing like fighting somebody you've already fought before and they know what to expect from you. That makes it a completely different fight. And then on top of that, I got to give Jake respect. You had the balls to put in a bonus for $500,000 if you knock me out. So he was basically saying, I know this rematch is going to be harder than the first fight. Let me give him some added incentive to make it even harder for me.
Again, I feel like you in this day and age, when you're doing things like this and it's really about money, you got to be strategic in what you do.
No,
I don't know that this is I don't feel like this is a move to Jake's advantage. I feel like everything he did in the past was a move for his advantage.
Right.
I don't know that this is one to his advantage. Kind of like, how I Mayweather picked the fighters that he fought based off of him having the advantage. And I just feel like, okay, well, if you want to keep this rolling to where you have this huge following
at the
that's
end of
waiting
his career, he did that.
No, I mean, not at the end.
At the end of his career,
he didn't fight Pacquiao in his prime. I'm just saying, like,
no, he didn't fight Pacquiao in his prime, but the Pacquiao fight had been made before it took place, and the drug testing and all that took a hold. You know what I mean? Like, basically what I'm getting at is shit gets attempted on back ends that don't cause things to go through, and then it ends up being well, you waited. Well, I feel like he gave him the opportunity while they both were exiting their prime, and you fucked up the bag, Pacquiao. Why wouldn't you agree? Why wouldn't you agree to a drug test?
He was smoking that cocaine.
Well, the drug testing that Mayweather wanted, because we knew they were going to be drug tested, but the drug testing that Mayweather wanted. Why wouldn't you agree to that?
I don't know. My thing was, I would have to look into it more, but was it beyond the standard drug testing? Is he doing some extra stuff? So my thing is, why you doing some extra stuff? Shit.
But that's what I'm saying. If you ain't doing nothing, you don't have nothing to worry about of him asking for more harsh drug testing.
I mean, yes and no.
That's where it gets a little where I'm looking at you like, what you got? What you
don't know what the man is doing in his personal life. Not even saying that it's something that's an enhancer,
and that's fine.
But my thing is just like,
it just shouldn't be in your system at the time of this fight.
If I can pass the regular shit, stop asking me for extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but when you know your payday is going to be upwards of $150 million. Upwards, that might be a little too high, but I know Pacquiao cleared that amount. But if you know your purse is going to be at least $85 million, you can drug test me for what I took back when I was a kid in high school. I don't care what you drug test me for. I'll take it. I'd rather fail that drug test than deny me having the chance of getting that much money.
Got his paper, but again,
Pacquiao did.
He might have felt like he was, you know how it is, and he might have felt like Floyd was being extra. So it's like, all right, how much am I willing to bend for this dude? Every time I say I'll do it, then he come up with something new. So it might have he might have just got to the point like, you know what, forget it.
And that could have very well been the case too.
We'll fight another day.
That could have very well been the case too.
I only say that because Floyd has been accused. It's nothing new. I'm not the first person. He's been accused of strategically picking his fighters when he was fighting. And I felt like
I think that's at the end of his career, though.
That's kind of the way to go. Even like with the people that are under his umbrella, they get accused of that now. But the point was, what's his name? Jake Paul should be doing the same thing, especially since he's not, he's doing these he's doing these exhibition fights. And it's all based off hype.
A rematch is a tough fight when you smoke him the first time.
But he didn't smoke him. But my thing is like the way the trajectory of what he's doing is like can be unmatched as far as like what's happened in the past when it comes to money.
Well,
let's say
it already has been unmatched. You don't see an entertainer come into this and do what he's done. It's already
money
unmatched.
Wise. Well, what I'm saying is just like, all right, let's say.
He said it in the. You haven't seen the Showtime thing? The Showtime. You know how they do the episodes before the fight. He said it in that. He said, "Listen, I understand that I don't necessarily belong here, but I have the opportunity to make $250 million in this sport. And if you think little Jake Paul's going to fumble that bag, you got me fucked up."
No, I get that. But what I'm saying is you got to be careful about how you do it because he's doing a rematch. We've only seen him fight twice, right? Tough. He's doing a rematch. If he loses, his money potential is going to decrease.
It drops with the casuals. With people like me, I'm not gonna hold it against him because that's tough. And then
I understand
with who you're rematching, that's tough.
He's bringing. You're a person that studies boxing. You know a lot about it. The average person, most of the people that are watching him are part of, his followers. They don't know nothing about boxing. They want to see him win.
Right.
If he loses, he's taken away from the mystery, not even the mystery, but the magic behind being
allure.
Undefeated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he could ride that out a lot longer to where he could fight Tommy Fury. I think he would beat him. Tommy Fury is not an offensive. Yeah, he's not an offensive type of boxer. And then let's say McGregor gives him that fight.
Ooh,
I would love to see.
I would love to see his road.
But listen, we would pay top dollar to see Conor McGregor and him fight.
I would pay for that.
You're not going to pay top dollar or even necessarily be interested if he loses to Tyron Woodley. So my thing is, I just don't like the move.
That's somewhat true. Yeah, that is somewhat true.
Even for
me, that is somewhat true. Yeah, I gotta give you that.
From a strategic point, because it's like if he loses to him, it's like we ain't even got nothing to talk about anymore.
Yeah.
Anytime he talks about fighting somebody, they're gonna be like,
no, because if they run it back and he beats him again, he's back in business. A trilogy for a guy that doesn't fight at all. That would be amazing, even against Tyron Woodley.
No, they better not make no trilogy. He better win.
If Tyron wins as Jake Paul, you got it.
My point is, if Tyron Woodley wins, it takes away from all this appeal that Jake Paul has built.
That untouchable. That this is a Disney kid doing y'all type. Right, I feel that.
Right now, it's like it's a movie. In a sense, like, I'm winning, and everything's all good when you're winning. But as soon as you start losing, shit, it's gonna come crashing down. So I think he just need to be a little smarter about possibly taking a loss, because he really could have taken a loss in last the first fight.
One. Right?
Yeah,
it was close. It was a very close fight, depending on how you scored it. I still would have given it to Jake Paul just because Tyron Woodley wasn't active enough. He had the harder and cleaner punches. He just wasn't active enough. Jake was more active than he was. So I would have edged it out to Jake too. But that's what makes it, to me, more exciting, that you go give that man a rematch after you went through that. And now he knows you. He knows the mistakes he made. I got to respect a man like that. But I mean, still I'm hit the shower. Hit the shower.
That wasn't the next fight that I wanted to see with him. So, hit the showers.
And they said Tyron Woodley, even though he took the fight on 2 weeks' notice, they say he never left the gym after that loss on that first fight. So he's been training since then. I think it's going to be an interesting fight. But I don't got nothing left. Malk got his fucking America's Next Top Model picture up on the screen.
I was going to say, that's a little sexy pic, Malcolm, if you can hear me.
Know.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know who you trying to bait.
Up, he did all right. He could have blended that top out a little bit more,
but
he did all right.
You know my shit's always official, Cliff.
You know I'm licensed.
Don't worry, but I appreciate you, Britt. I appreciate you. Nah, you already met the bar, but I told you that's the one from the Verizon days. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah. Little what's his name? Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi looking. No, not Stefan. This is dude used to play his bill at Verizon. We used to work at Verizon. His name was Guy.
Mr. Miyagi looking motherfucker. Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. He was a weirdo.
Yeah.
But
wax off.
Right.
We love everybody.
Love everybody. Even Mr. Miyagi, whatever his name was. But like, subscribe, share, do all that jazz. We will be back on Saturday. I don't know who all's on that show, but tune in and find out. Do any of y'all got something to take us out with?
Nope.
Well, playoffs, here we come. Fly, Eagles, fly. Raiders and Browns won't even have a chance.
Die, go Eagles, Gardner, die.
Go Gardner Minshew.
Stop.
Whatever it takes us to the promised land.
Browns over Raiders.
Oh.